Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, whatever time zone you're in, whatever country you're in. Welcome to RC Mini on Facebook Live, building an M07. If you told me back in September 2006 when RC Mini first started that we'd be building a kit live on the internet, broadcasting all over the world, I'd have told you that you were freaking mad. But here we are. By the way, that's the correct date. We've been around now for just over 10 years. We've written a lot of words in that time. Some of it good.
Hello, good morning.
Some of it not so good. And in the
Your one.
Wherever you are,
your one.
whatever time zone you're in.
And we've already made a mistake.
Welcome to RC Mini on Facebook Live, building an M07.
You like that?
You told me back in September 2006 when RC Mini first started.
Yeah, anyway.
We'd be building a kit live.
Now there goes the other one.
Now awesome. We've got two
You got stereophonic
computers
fuck up,
going here.
mess ups.
Anyway, some of the words that we've written in that time have been good, some of it not so good, and in the case of anything that Tim wrote, probably decidedly dodgy. A lot of you will remember the April Fool's edition.
Come on, that was legitimate.
Some people still think it's real. Tonight will be no different. We're not promising anything. We haven't actually opened the box yet. It's still just sitting there sealed up, as you can see in front of you. We haven't planned anything, we're just going to go for it. The car will be built as it comes, no modifications, no options, and if we get something wrong, you'll see us do it and you'll be able to bag the crap out of us for the next 6 months. You may hear swearing, we'll try not to. You'll hear personal abuse and possibly even some flatulence. We make no apologies, that's just how it works. But your builders tonight are myself, Tony G, Tim,
Hey.
and Tony P.
No.
There he is.
There you go.
You've seen us before on the Facebook page. For those listening outside of Australia, feel free to laugh at our accents. We can't hear you, so we don't care. We'll try and speak slowly and clearly, but to be honest, if you can't hear or understand us, you're probably not missing much. We've split the build up into areas so we can all work on it at once. Otherwise, it's just going to take hours. Tony P is going to do the main chassis and transmission. Tim will do the suspension, upper and lower arms, uprights and links, and this is the first he's heard of that, so that's interesting. And I'm going to do pretty much bugger all and just do the shocks, and also attempt to answer any questions that you guys throw at us during the build. We've got two PCs here, so if any questions that come up on the screen, I'll try and answer them, and if we don't know the answer, we'll just make something up. No electronics tonight, it's just a rolling chassis. That's all we're going to do. As we roll along, we'll try and draw some comparisons with existing M05 parts so you can actually see where the differences are. We've got a couple of M05s here, so we're as interested as you. We don't really know what the differences are. It's all very well having a video of a build-up, as we've seen from, I think RC might have done one, but what we want to know is the differences between what we're used to running. That's what tonight's all about. So, enough talking crap. Now we finally get to open the box. Let's get going. This is a sacred moment, really, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
No, middle. Ooh, it's really in there.
Yeah.
It wasn't two bricks.
That was a bit of an ass-clenching moment there. We weren't entirely sure. All right, we're now going to spend the next hour and a half
Popping bubble wrap.
in bubble wrap.
Unboxing and bubble wrapping.
You might want to tune in about 30 minutes when we
After the popping.
all right, we can get rid of this.
Once
Okay.
you pop, you won't stop. Oi, cut that.
More stuff.
Now you've done it. It's no longer a collectible.
housing.
Ah, Kelvin Holmes. So who is building and who is holding their hands? We've already told you, Kelvin. We said who's building what bits.
Don't you listen?
That's the collector card.
Oh yeah.
Ooh,
Oh, an
new antenna tube.
Antenna tube. That's the new lightweight edition. It's got a hole through the middle.
Yeah. More aerodynamic. There's the motor cover dealy.
Yeah.
This is a ride height gauge in Singapore.
Is it? Okay.
3 mil.
Yep.
Dialed.
That's how they do it. Old school. What you got here? Body posts.
Thanks for your comment, Joe Brown. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Tim?
Battery holder.
Battery holder. How much wood?
Yeah.
A wood load.
Okay.
Wood load. A metric wood load.
Oh, the good thing is from where I'm sitting, I can see the TV, so I can still see the F1.
Which is more
That's
interesting.
not a good thing.
There's the chassis for the gearbox housing. Housing.
How's Zinge?
The Ministry of Housing.
Zinge.
What have I got? Suspension arms. Ooh. With droop screw holes in them.
Which we won't be using.
And they're one piece. I don't have to glue them together with 3x10s.
Oh, now.
C-hubs, knuckles, and uprights.
Yeah, we're sorry about the lag. I understand that you've got issues with that. We've got it here too.
I don't. Black wheels.
Even though I'm on NBN, I've got pretty
And the
reasonable internet, but for some reason the video's lagging. We can't do anything about it. We've played with it as much as we can. So,
There's about a minute lag. Any more lag, it's in TFG.
yeah.
The Vanna White.
Yeah.
And
You
Dan
won it,
Marr, it's
you
not.
M07.
Dan, it's not ADSL. I've actually got NBN, but I think there's some other reason for it.
Blue dealies. Yeah, there is some inherent lag with Facebook anyway, so
Hang on, we got to
just have
read.
to deal with it.
We're going to have to read the warnings to make sure that we're safe.
You do that. A bumper for the first time in a mini kit,
Yeah.
or a mustache. Scott.
He's already got one of them. That's just fair.
Flip the camera up a bit. There you go. And aim it at you.
And you have to turn.
And you got to turn it on.
Oh, yeah.
You need 3 hands.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know. I won't bother with it then. It wasn't that interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder why it wasn't coming up.
Dodgy steering rod.
Oh, it's got one of those 3-spring
good.
servo savers.
Yeah,
The ones
that'll go
everyone
in the bin.
hates.
Well, luckily we don't have to put that on tonight because we're not putting a servo on.
Oh, I like doing that.
Well, you can do it then.
You can do that.
Thanks.
Shock tops. Not the good kind.
Choc tops. They belong in the cinema.
Yeah.
TFG, that's your job.
There's the rest of this.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
More gears. Gears, gears, and
Who's
gears.
doing this?
Ferrero,
I'll do
Giddy.
that. There's some metally bits.
metally
Screws.
bits.
Parts bag B. Is that a 24 tooth pinion? It comes standard, 24 tooth. Ooh. Controversial.
Is it?
No, it's
No,
only
it's
20.
20. That's
Just,
right.
just a wind up. It does have sealed bearings with it. These are some Tamiya ones that run for longer and faster.
Here are some the controversial gears.
Ooh, the controversial gears. Do you want to? Don't we have some of the old gears to compare these two?
They're a finer pitch.
You reckon? I don't reckon they are.
Yeah, they are.
Well, they're 0.6 module. Ah,
Yeah.
they're a finer pitch on the transmission part,
Yeah.
diff to the diff. They're shorter and smaller
Lightweight.
diameter. Yeah, about 0.2 of a gram lighter.
There's the other one.
How about the top hat? Hello there.
the top hat?
That appears to be exactly the same.
Good.
It's even got the same number of teeth on it.
Bonus.
7.
Tool bag.
So that means I can still use this on my M03 if I want.
Yeah, the one gear.
The one gear.
And there's the diff
The
and motor mount.
TAO6 diff with the
Bag
finer
eight.
pitch.
All right. So what else have we got here?
Instruction manual.
Suspension.
Let me get rid of that.
Yeah. And the sticker. Ooh, metal. Heat shield.
Ooh.
I don't know why, but all right.
They're all complaining about the lag.
Yeah.
I'll complain about
Sadly,
their
the lag is the lag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all complain about the lag. It's not going to happen.
So you can get rid of that. Mr. Boundy wants to know if they're rubber or metal shielded bearings.
Metal shield.
Metal shield.
There you go, Tim. Metal shielded bearings.
You'll find that out in about 2 minutes once the lag catches up.
Okay, there's my 05R.
Oh, it's long wheelbase.
Yes.
And it matches, funny that. Not as long.
So, if you put this on the 0 line of the 25, which is there, and you match it up with the centre of the motor, which
Is
is
on the 30, 5 centimetres back, roughly a bit more.
yeah, just a bit
just
more.
over.
So it's probably 52 mil. Now let's
All right,
see
do
what
that with the 07.
About the same. Maybe slightly further back. But remember that it can move.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's about the same.
Yeah.
So, all right. So there's
So
virtually
the relationship
so
between
the
the
motor-
front axle and the motor,
is exactly the same virtually.
yeah,
And we already know that the positioning vertically is virtually the same too.
The battery potentially is slightly further back.
you reckon?
So
Hang on, leave it there. No. Put it back on the line. So there. So where does the battery start? About there?
Yeah. I would say, if
it's-
anything, the battery looks further forward on
Yeah.
the M05.
Yeah, yeah. it's further
So
back
it's
on
further
that.
back on that.
Yeah.
On the M07.
Right, so the battery's further back on the M07, but the motor and the front axle are virtually identical. And as we said, the vertical positioning in the Z-axis is the same too. So
Whereas the servo is slightly more forward, possibly on the. Hang on.
On the M05, yeah.
Is it on the M05?
I can't help it.
I reckon it might be slightly more forward there.
On here,
No, here. Slightly more towards the front of the chassis.
No.
No?
no, there's the screws there.
Yeah. And that's where they're going to go.
It's further back on here.
So the weight's more distributed, I guess.
The centre
So
of
it'd be
gravity
interesting.
could be lower because it hasn't got these bits up high. These two tiny bits of plastic aren't up
They're
high.
going to make all the difference.
Oh yeah.
So
And look, the knuckles here are right up there, above the centre line of the axle, but here they're up there and down there, so they're lower.
the bottom line here is that the actual positioning of the major components really
Hasn't budged.
has barely moved, if anything.
And if you look at the thickness of the chassis on the M05 V2, just below the motor there,
It's thinner.
it's thinner on this than it is on the M07,
Yeah.
which means the motor is lower down on this. And the battery.
So
So there's a lower
in
centre
terms of
gravity.
weight distribution and everything, that there's going to be almost nothing in it.
I would think the
The
M05 would be better.
The only possible advantage is going to be in the suspension with the different arms. Let's do it. Isn't it ironic that the best, the only interesting part of the whole thing is now, and hardly anyone's watching it now,
Yeah. Well,
because this is the bit that actually matters. Because
they should have logged on now.
this is what we wanted to know. Well,
What am I measuring?
Hinge pin.
should probably take it from the centre of the
Hinge
hinge
pin
pin
to the edge of the axle.
Yeah.
Bit wider.
Yeah, so this is like 5mm wider, isn't it?
The front arms are definitely longer,
Yeah.
and the pivot point for the outer pivot point is out further. So
Yeah, well, you've got like 20mm for the between centres for that, and then, well, it's quite a bit. The pivot point is 32mm on that, so there's 12mm difference in the pivot points.
Just in the arms.
So there's
There you go.
some significant difference in suspension.
Well, what's the back
But
like, though?
whether that translates to anything on the track,
Yeah. No, there's only one way to find out.
Well, it's 30mm. It's not as pronounced on the back. It's more on the front. It's 34. It's only like 4mm on the back. I know the dog is more interesting.
Just trying to see what bits he's got, but
no, it's just got the bits of sprue with nothing left. So
What do you think the toe-in is? 2 degrees?
yeah, probably. Nice thing though is you can adjust it with the shims at the back, if you really want to. It's infinitely adjustable. You don't have to have a different set of uprights for every angle you want.
yeah, just one set of uprights. You just change all that.
Yeah, but that's what I had on the M03. It just changed as it felt like. Variable
Yeah.
toe-in.
During the race.
Yeah.
Slot.
So this will be interesting.
Does that mean we built a whole car in
Well,
2 hour and a half? No,
Yeah.
2.5.
2.5 hours.
2.5 hours.
we would have done it quicker, but you had to redo a number of things.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to have to redo at least 2 things.
That's
What,
all right.
mine or
'Cause
yours?
that way
Yours.
What?
You'll learn about
Oh, the wheelbase.
You'll learn about the
Yes.
things that you didn't know about
That's
because
right.
he was doing them anyway. So, well, that's about it.
Cool.
Excellent.
Oh, have you got a motor that's out of its box
Yes.
that we can just shove in there?
See how far
Yeah.
the width is. Yeah.
See if it's further across. That would be the only other thing worth
We
checking.
don't know where the motor plate is on here from the bottom, do we? Not
It's
from
the black
bottom.
one.
Yeah,
It is
but
the motor
not
plate.
from. Oh, is it on that line?
You
Hard
can
to
see
say.
where it.
Ooh. Holy cow!
That's interesting.
That's all right.
You'd have to run through the new cookie
I
bars.
think the new cookie bar, we've got to put them on after the motor. Oh, fun times. Yeah, no, that's not going to happen. Hang on.
Just take the dealie off. There.
Just loosen that one. Can it pivot around?
And welcome to Mr. Jay
no,
Dixon,
gotta take
who
it
is
out.
also watching.
He's joined just now.
He left it till the last minute. It's still on, isn't it?
That's all right. No, that should. Oh no, it won't. No.
Oh,
It's
okay.
keyed.
Would you like some keys?
Yes. Oh, is that all the way in, or is it jamming up
No,
against
that's all
the?
the way in.
Bottom out.
Whoa.
Oh, that's like a bought one.
Yeah, like a
Wow.
glove.
Oh yeah.
Well, that motor's not going to get knocked out because that's holding it in.
Yeah.
Hey, mate, where's your transponder?
Where is your transponder? Dude.
Super muggers on the back too.
Ooh, super muggers.
They were
Yeah.
dialed.
You don't even need motor screws.
No. So, what do we...
Well, you need to measure from the centre line
Yeah.
to the outer point of the motor.
Oh, what's the centre line on this one?
Well, be creative.
It's about 40 mil.
That's 44.2. Jeez.
The centre line is here.
Yeah. It's about the same, isn't it?
Yeah. Everything, same, but different.
Yeah, well,
Okay, so not
it
even,
should be pretty close.
because looking at that, you'd think that the motor was further over,
Yeah.
but
I think it's just
it's
because the
deceptive
chassis
because
is
it
wider.
just covers
Yeah.
so much more.
It'd be interesting to see if the old motors will fit in there because I thought they might be slightly longer.
Oh, maybe.
So there you have it. Job done.
Yeah. I scored a new motor because I'm not taking it out.
Yeah.
Take that motor out, you bastard. Let's buy a new motor. Oh. Oh. That's really impressive. Now, Tim's reduced to doing really crap party tricks. Well, that's about it then, people. It's
No questions?
it's very interesting. There doesn't appear to be a vast amount different. I'm not entirely sure.
Well, just looking at it, you don't think it would make any difference on the track.
No. I mean, there was
Stiffness and stuff might be slightly different
But
just
you know,
because it's a one-piece
just
chassis.
one piece chassis made of a different material.
Definitely easier to work on, I guess, to change gears and stuff.
Yeah.
If you
It's
have
not
to.
easy to change arms
No.
Well, yeah.
or
Well,
change motors.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely not easy to change motors. Teching's going to be fun.
yeah. Checking the 22th pinion will be interesting. It's very different. Whether it's
Whether it's
better in terms of performance,
we-
I don't
we
know.
need- We need track time. That's the only way.
It's new, it's always got to be better.
No,
Some people sitting at this table who worship at the
You-
altar of the
new is
M03.
never better. The M03 is 20 years old and it's not 20 years behind. It's
Yeah.
still competitive.
Lynette has asked thoughts about where we can add weight in the car.
You're right up high there.
Yeah.
You can put it right up high there, obviously.
You can add some between the
There's space in the
bottom
back.
there. There's heaps of room in there.
What about here? You can put flat lead along there.
You can put flat lead along,
along
underneath.
there, underneath the electronics.
Yeah, it's not. It's certainly not as easy to add weight as it is.
What about on the top of the bumper?
On the top
Yeah.
of the bumper, probably in between there, you could probably cut out a bit of the bumper.
Yeah.
Because there's another bumper underneath.
Yeah,
Dumper. I can put lead in there, I
Yeah,
reckon.
it'll fall out, but you can.
well, if he puts it in, yes.
Well, maybe we should, because of the lower centre of gravity that it allegedly has, we might not need all that extra lead. We can reduce the minimum weight to 1,000 grams.
I'll get back to you on that. Actually,
Yeah.
that will be interesting to see what it weighs
Weighs
once
in
it's got electronics
once it's
in
fully
it.
loaded. Yeah.
So,
That's
no.
interesting too, because I haven't weighed that one,
Okay.
and it hasn't got much lead in it.
I know what
Yeah.
mine was, the M05 V2, M05M, which I built last week because the evil one was evil.
Yeah.
1420
Okay.
with
shit.
a with
If
a
it was
7,000
1422, it'd
packing.
be 3XY.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I know, mine will be fine because it's got the enormous great Simon Jesty 60 gram.
The 65
Yeah.
gram bumper.
Yeah. That's probably why it had a lot of,
Scott
lot
Jean.
of traction.
Simon Jesty didn't make that.
Oh, okay.
He can't. I mean, he's a top bloke.
For a,
He works at Holden. He doesn't work for Brass Bumpers Unlimited. That's the Scott James bumper. Brass bumper.
yeah.
Limited edition.
Excellent. Gentlemen,
There you go.
I believe we've completed our task.
Job done.
Thanks to everyone who was stupid enough to watch for a while.
There you can go back to watching Father Brown.
Yeah. What are you checking now?
The shock towers.
See if you can reuse his shock
You want
towers.
to use the blue carbon on the new one.
True.
but
It wouldn't be legal.
Why not?
It doesn't say M07 on the header card.
Oh. Neither do the wheel nuts.
Oh well, so much for that. All right, we've had enough. I want to get rid of these bastards out of my house, and I want to, and Milo needs to go to sleep. We shall say goodbye to everyone. Sorry about the video lag. We can't do anything about that. Not really
now
sure
we can't.
why it happened, but we're stuck with that. Hopefully, we talked enough crap to keep you entertained.
Kept us
So-
awake.
Yeah, kept us awake. And we've still got quite a few choc chip cookies. Were they any good, Tim?
Oh, I need some more.
Yeah.
And some over.
Yeah, I thought
Take
you
some
might.
travellers.
Yeah.
Some travellers. All right, if that's the case, we shall disappear now. Cheerio, everyone.
All the best.
We'll catch you at the track. It's got a thing that says